guys, and welcome to today's video. So today we're just going to be having some fun with Distress Oxides, and I wanted to be able to use washi tape as kind of a guard for some of my pieces. And here's a little tip you're going to see me doing here. I'm actually taking the washi tape and putting it on my sleeve to kind of, I guess, de-stickify it to make it easier to pull up, because I've found with certain washi tapes that if I try to do this technique by just putting it down, if it sits there for too long, then it ends up tearing my paper. So I decided to just use my shirt a little bit, and it's just kind of taking some of that tackiness off the back so that these are acting more like masks or guards instead of actual sticking washi tape. You can see above there I have got a nice little kind of a muted rainbow palette. I couldn't decide which red to use. I have festive berries and I have candied apple. I decided I wanted to stick with a more muted palette, and I have these little brushes that I actually got on Amazon. I'll leave the link down below. They came as a set for like 12 bucks, but they're super fun, and I really feel like they give you a really good solid coverage. You can see they've got a little bit of a bend to them, so I don't know, I just really like them. I feel like they definitely do better than trying to swipe maybe the pad or trying to kind of dab it. I really like them. I think they're great. I've seen a lot of people use them, and I'm using very much like a circular motion. I've tried just doing kind of almost like an up and down, and it didn't really work. I feel like doing a swirl fills in that gap. And I want to show you guys, this is what I would normally use was a makeup sponge, and it definitely does not fill in as well. And this gets it done super, super fast. I did all 6 of these colors in probably, I don't know, 5 minutes or something. And I'll put all the colors down below. But you can see I've got my muted rainbow, and I'm peeling up my washi, and you can see it's coming up super smooth and giving me just some really nice crispy lines. You're going to laugh here in a minute because I'm going to put those back down because I decided to do something else. So could have saved myself a little bit of time by just leaving them there. We are actually in my illustrating Bible, but it's the book of Luke. While we're drying, we'll talk about our verse. We are in chapter 3, verse 22, where it says, "The Holy Spirit descended on him in bodily form like a dove. A voice from heaven came from heaven, saying, 'You are my son whom I love, and with you I am well pleased.'" And I kind of just wanted, I don't know, I didn't have anything specific. You know, if you follow my channel, normally I have something really specific about why I do certain things, but I was really just in the mood to just create something bright, use a bunch of colors, and just focus on that idea that with the Holy Spirit, if even Jesus needed the Holy Spirit to guide him and to help him on this earth, then we do too. And the Holy Spirit, I think I like this idea of the rainbow because I feel like the Holy Spirit speaks to people differently. And we have to be okay with that because it's going to look different. He's going to speak differently to everyone, just like all the colors of the rainbow are still beautiful and they're still needed and they're still necessary. But they're all different, and they need to be different for, reasons. And that's why we're all different. I'm sure the Holy Spirit talked to Jesus differently than he does us now in 2022. So I took a Sharpie and I really just wrote those words, and the Holy Spirit descended on him in the bodily form of a dove, and a voice came down from heaven and said, "You are my son." And I wanted to focus on that portion because of the idea of God saying, "You are my son, you are my daughter." So here's the Holy Spirit because it's necessary. And so I wanted, this is where I made the decision to put these back on, because I'd had this ink that I got in a box from Brutus Monroe. I'll leave a link for him down below, and it's actually a pigment ink. And so it's actually supposed to be for darker cardstock, but I really wanted to see how it would react with Distress Oxides, because those of you that aren't familiar with Distress Oxides are they react with water, and so if I went back over it with a paint or watercolor, it would actually start picking those colors up. So I'm using a flexible stamp and using my white to kind of just add almost like a watermark to my Distress Oxides, and I really like the way it turned out because it kind of is giving it almost kind of a quilted look where it has like the lines and then each little different section of color has a different pattern. And so I thought it would be kind of fun to just have some randomosity. I put naturey things in the green. I put kind of this shell wave pattern in the blue, some polka dots in the yellow. If you don't want to put your washi back down, I was also kind of playing with other ideas. You can take a note card and kind of pop it in there. And you can definitely see the white really well on that purple because it is a pigment ink that is made specifically for darker cardstocks. And since that purple is the darkest one, we have that one in the red. You can see that white really pops off of it. So I'm actually super excited to try this white pigment ink. It's called Alabaster White on some other dark projects. I actually have an idea to do one in all black and white. So I'm hoping I'll be able to utilize that in it because I think it would be really, really fun and really cool. But it's just fun. I love how it kind of just gives that subtle watercolor. And like I said, kind of gives that little bit of a quilted kind of feel. So that is my project today. It is super simple, but it's kind of what I wanted to do because, like I said, I just really wanted to play with some color. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.